Good morning, Boerne. Thanks for tuning in to the Boerne Brew. This is Veronica Rector, news reporter for the Boerne Star. So not only is this our first show of the new year, this is my first show hosting as well. So be nice, guys. Today we have Donna Provencher and Rudolph from the Boerne Community Theater, and we're going to be talking about the 2026 schedule. So guys, what does it look like this year? Some more classics?
Well, we have a great season put together with some classics, some old favorites, and a couple of new pieces, too. We like to do some new works.
I noticed that with the Agatha Christie one with Mousetrap, it was very, very successful. And Donna, you had an interesting role there. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so the Mousetrap, which was earlier in 2025, we had a bit of an adventure. I directed the show. It was very successful. One of the most sold shows we've had since before the pandemic, since 2018, I think. So that was really gratifying and really exciting to be a part of. But my little adventure therein was about 2 weeks before Tech Week, which is just before opening night. We lost our lead, Molly Ralston, the character, and I needed to step in for the lead. So I brought in a co-director, and we had to do some machinations and wiggling things around. And I had to go on for the lead as well. So I co-directed it and wound up accidentally starring in it.
Written by, starred in.
So without Agatha Christie, I could have had the whole gamut, you know.
So I'm assuming seeing the success for something like classic from Agatha Christie, y'all are kind of going with the same thing with some new things mixed in?
Oh, yes. Like, we're going to start the seating where, in fact, I came straight over from a work crew. We're building the set right now for Barefoot in the Park, which is Neil Simon's piece. And it opens January 16th and runs through February 1st. Then we're also doing, I don't know if you've heard of Angel Street / Gaslight. They turned it into a movie in the 40s, 50s, I believe. And it's by Patrick Hamilton. And that's going to run in March. And that's
Can you
like
tell
a
us about that?
thriller.
The story?
Yes, it's kind of a thriller. It's where we get the word nowadays when you use the word gaslight to gaslight somebody.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's actually where the word comes from, because this gentleman gaslights this woman. He's trying to find some jewels or something, and the whole thing revolves around the lights in the apartment room.
Right.
When he switches them on upstairs, they dim downstairs. And so that's the giveaway to the whole thing, is they realize that he's doing something upstairs that he shouldn't be. There shouldn't be being anybody in the room.
Interesting.
So then in psychology, they adopted that whole concept to turn it into making someone question their own sense of reality, like in abusive situations and all of this, you know, when you're like psychologically warping someone to question their own reality, like systemically and gradually. So it's dark, but it's a really great show.
Reminds me of The Twilight Zone.
Yes, very much. It's got that feel to it. And it's a period piece. So we're doing it in the period of like late 1880, 90, something like that. Whatever.
Right.
And then the next piece we have is actually a new piece. It's written by, her name is Cricket Daniel. And if anybody saw our Christmas show this year, she also wrote that, which was the night before Christmas.
I love that.
And this one is called Helen on Wheels.
Helen on Wheels.
Yes, it's about a lovely old grandmother is set in her ways and sits on the porch and shoots her shotgun at things.
Various things.
and her son is the police officer, the sheriff in town, and he's trying to get her to move into a safer place.
Right.
And it just kind of revolves around all the antics she has with her best friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
And that's in May. And then, of course, we have You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown by Clark Gesner. It runs in August through the 1st of September. And Donna's directing that. I'll let her comment on that.
Yes, I want to hear about this.
I'm super excited about You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, because we've done musicals before in the past at BCT, and we've done some really great ones. But I'm really excited to do one that is so, you know, prominent and beloved, kind of universally adored. You know, like it's one of those stories that I think resonates with a lot of people. So for me, I've been thinking a lot lately about why directing it feels like such a gift right now. And I think it's that Charlie Brown is so universally appreciable. Like, I think everyone on earth wants to come see this because so lovable. He's anxious and he overthinks and he tries very hard and he still gets things wrong and he wants connection and he wants belonging and he wants lunch with the little redheaded girl and the universe won't meet him halfway. And so there's just all this wit and warmth to this script. It's a smaller cast for a musical. The last several musicals I've directed elsewhere have been these giant, enormous, sprawling casts, but there's something really small and intimate. It can be cast with like 7 to 9 people, so you really get a chance to hone in on it.
Yes.
But I think that thematically, there's just a lot of richness, and it really resonates for me personally. Like, I know you and I have talked about this in the past, Veronica, but
Yes.
I'm ADHD and I'm on the autism spectrum. And I think Charlie Brown, particularly for that demographic, there's a lot of ink's been spilled on Charles Schultz himself and some of his quirks and idiosyncrasies. And not that you can retroactively diagnose people with stuff, but, like his favorite pen nib, the company that made it, they ran out of it. And so he bought like thousands and thousands of cases of it before they ran out. And he would lock himself away for weeks on end drawing Peanuts cartoons. And so you get these very quirky characters, right? You have the Schroeder's monomaniacal obsession with Beethoven, and Sally talks to buildings, and, Charlie Brown, the perpetual underdog, and Linus and his blanket and his hyperfixation on the Great Pumpkin. And so they're all just so like weird and wonderful. I'm really excited to bring both like personal experience and to just be doing something that brings so much heart and joy without ever being cheeseball, because like Charlie Brown is open about his anxieties and the psychological journey he's experiencing, but it's in like a light and joyous kind of way. And the music is lovely. It's relatable. There's a lot of really great musical theater actors both in Boerne and just outside of Boerne. And I feel like we're going to draw both a lot of actors and a really receptive audience as well, just because like who doesn't love Charlie Brown, right? It's Christmas. We all just watched the Christmas special. Like Charlie Brown is universal. So I'm super stoked about it.
And within that same vein, how do y'all cast? Like, what is the casting process?
Well, we have open calls at Boerne, so anybody can come to auditions. If you want to come yourself, you're more than welcome.
Oh, you should do a show with us, Veronica.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So, and we don't really set times. You fill out a form, and then you come in, and we kind of just read from the script.
Right? Is it in front of a panel?
In front of the whole room. No, well, it depends. It's usually the director and probably a couple of other people that they brought along.
But it's nice. Like, we're usually pretty approachable just because, some theaters, not that there's anything wrong with any approach, but, some theaters tend to require more of like a pre-planned monologue ahead of time and that sort of thing. Right. And we're very like, come on, we want to see what you've got. We want to see what you bring to the table. Like, we want to get to know you. Like, it's a very professional environment, but it's very warm as well.
And it's more accessible for people to be involved.
We try to be, and pretty much we are a family over there because we get new people in and they tend to stay. And that's
like
one
the
thing
Hotel California.
Yeah. Well, not exactly like the Hotel California. But so people who don't have a lot of experience, but, they think, hey, I want to try this. They have a chance. They can come in and read. We don't have to have a headshot. You don't have to have a lot of the things that other theaters or some other theaters do.
And it's definitely true that people sort of show up and they never want to leave. Like for me personally, I had, I've been doing theater, professional and community theater my whole life, but I've been working when I first moved here at some of the theaters in San Antonio, and my kids got involved with fruitcakes in 2019. Remember that?
Yes,
that Robert Gonzalez directed, and it was the most fun holiday show. And I'm like, these people are really cool. I want to hang out too. So then I came back, and then I kept coming back, and I feel like that's a very common story at BCT is that they just saw something, light and
one big family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's a safe zone.
Right.
It's a place for people to come in and even our volunteers. Almost everything is done by volunteers at the theater. So the set building, running the lights and sound, doing the tech work backstage, the costumes, everything is volunteer. So we really love, whether you like to act or not, there's a place for you.
Yes.
And I think people forget that sometimes, that there's so much to do. So even if you are not a performer, even if you wouldn't be caught dead on stage, there's 90 million other opportunities to volunteer. You can do marketing, you can do set building. Alan would love it if you did. Please come help.
Painting. I do not like to paint.
Please come paint. And sound and light. There's so many other gifts and skill sets and things that go into creating art that are not simply performing. And I think that sometimes that doesn't get, I think we emphasize it a lot, and for good reason, right? That we'd love to see you there regardless of whether you want to tread the boards or be on stage or not.
Well, and I would like to add, we do have a teen troupe, and they are wonderful also. And Trish Hausman is the youth coordinator, youth director. And we have like 40, 50 kids in the program right now. And it's open to anyone from the age of 13 up till 17.
That's awesome.
And they're doing a really fun show this year.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is they do 2 shows on our main stage every season.
That's
in fact,
amazing.
like in between Barefoot and Angel Street, they're doing a show called Game of Tiaras, which is a comedy, but it's kind of based on the other game of something.
Game of copyright violation.
It took me way longer to get.
And then,
but like make it Disney princesses.
Yes, it's Disney princess. And then they're doing the Seussical musical. This is Seussical musical this season in October. That's their fall. Every fall they do a musical, and they do great.
Oh, that's sweet.
The kids do a great job with the musical. I don't know how they do it, but stuff that we can't do as adults, like the big musicals that we just don't have the room and the stage. They come together as kids and they do this creative.
The number of orphans on that stage in Annie was truly impressive.
They just did Annie, and they had a whole bunch of people out there on the stage. So they do a wonderful job.
That is awesome. And I mean, it lets families participate, and they can come see their kid on stage. That's got to be awesome.
Especially with teen troupe, like there's so many relationship dynamics like behind the scenes, and so many of these kids I know that Trish herself perceives as her own children, or her own, like I see some of them as nieces and nephews. My stepson was Daddy Warbucks, by the way, so I'm biased, a little biased. But so I've gotten to know some of these kids, and they truly are. I mean, so many of them are going to school for theater or theater education, or like it really is such a positive building block and stepping stone for their future too.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on how important I think theater is these days, and especially for kids growing up, because they're all glued to their phone. And we're all glued to our phone.
Yeah, me too.
And that's the thing about the theater as a whole. It gives you a chance, an opportunity to socialize, whether you're in the audience or whether you're on stage.
Socialize whether you want to or not.
So, and those are things that, those are skill sets that you really need to function as an adult, is just be able to get a little confidence. They gain confidence. They gain public speaking,
These are big social skills.
So, yes, exactly.
And there's such a realness and immediacy to it that doesn't exist, almost in any other sphere. I was reading something the other day about, there's a moment as an artist where you look at this and you're like, we build this thing that we have to knock down and put away forever a few weeks later. And, it's so transient, and but there's nothing quite like it. And like Alan was saying, in a world where we're all tied to ChatGPT and Facebook and everything else, Snapchat, like it's something so brutally and like viscerally real, and it's there for just a moment, and it's lovely, and then you have to say goodbye, and that's its own life lesson, right? I don't know, it's just, there's something very beautiful and unique about it.
Yes, I'll totally agree. And she said, you bond so tightly as a group when you do a show, and then all of a sudden it's over, and that's something else you learn from, because it's like, oh, well, I hope I see you again. My
7-year-old just did that with a Christmas show he did recently, and had his first big like postpartum, like this show is over, and he was crying, and he's like, I'm never going to see my friends again. And you got to be like, listen, you will always see these people again. It's never a goodbye. There will be another show. You'll never have this particular magical combination of people, but they haven't gone anywhere. You will encounter them. You will make more great art with them. But it's like a life lesson, like realization the first time. But that is the beauty of it, right? Is the transience in so many ways.
And to that note, the show must go on. If you're just tuning in, this is the Boerne Brew. I'm Veronica Rector. I am a reporter with the Boerne Star. And today we have Donna Provencher and Alan Rudolph with the Boerne Community Theater. I think we've gone through the schedule for January through...
Yes.
Charlie Brown closes is August 21st to September 6th. Mm-hmm.
And then starting at the end of September, the 25th through October 4th, we're doing something called Anybody Home. It's by Carl Ritchie and Elsa Dewsbury, and it revolves around a dead body.
Oh, that's always
Like
interesting.
so many other shows we've done, honestly.
It's mystery, comedy, thriller, all wrapped together. It's a farce. There's a real estate broker who's on her last lap. If she doesn't sell this condo, she's going to get fired, and she has a...
Right.
She like finds the dead owner on the sofa or something.
She
right?
walks in.
Is that a spoiler?
No. She walks in because she's going to have an open house to have people come in and see it. And she walks into the condo, and the owner is laying dead on the couch. And instead,
a little bit of a crimp in the works.
Instead of calling the authorities, she wants to sell the condo. So she hides the body.
As one does.
To show the condo.
This economy's rough, guys.
I was like, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Donna.
And then, as you would guess, the chaos ensues after that. And then, who doesn't love Sherlock Holmes?
I do.
November
such a classic.
6th through November 15th, we're doing Ken Ludwig's Moriarty. And it's by Ken Ludwig, and he's phenomenal.
Yes.
He's written a lot of things. We've done several of his shows.
We've done Moon Over Buffalo,
We
right?
did Moon Over Buffalo. I know we've done another one. I just can't think of it.
The Lenmies. Did we do those?
No,
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll get there. So this is a Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson and Irene Adler join forces to confront Professor Moriarty and his network of henchmen. And it's actually 5 actors playing over 20 roles.
Oh, wow.
In the same show.
Those shows are rough as an actor, too. You need some really stellar people to carry
diverse
that.
actors, yeah.
Some
versatile.
Yeah, a lot of body work, a lot of voice work, a lot of costume changes. So
It's the worst part. The hardest part.
so obviously that's a comedy also. So that's a great show. And then we're going to end the season with the classic Miracle on 34th Street.
I'm so excited about
That
that.
was Gene Davis. And that's
Oh, my God.
So we usually run our Christmas show 2 weekends. This one we're going to run 3 weekends because...
Who doesn't want to see Miracle on 34th Street?
Exactly.
Come on.
So that's going to run December 4th through December 20th.
That's amazing.
That'll be great. Yes, Robin Cunningham and Trish Hausman are directing that show. So.
And it's going to be a really fabulous opportunity, I think, too, because, you know, there are only certain Christmas shows and certain shows in general that enable you to kind of mingle your child actors and your adult actors in the same cast or the same
That's
classic.
true.
And so, like, and I think that's part of the richness that Robin and Trish will bring to the table is their expertise in both regards. So it's going to be great because there will be an opportunity for kids to audition too. And, you know, the child roles in that show. And it's always nice to integrate that, right? Because so often, you know, there's beautiful things in Teen Troupe and other theaters have their own child-only companies. But having worked on a show recently with both a child cast and adult cast, there's something that the kids can stand to learn from the adults. And there's a lot that the adults can learn from the kids too, like in terms of the wide-eyed sense of the holiday season and all that good stuff. Some of us are a little grinchy sometimes.
Yeah. Anytime that we see an opportunity where we can get some of the teens onto the stage in the adult show, it's a great learning experience both ways.
For everybody, yeah.
Both ways.
Yeah, how is it working with kids? Is it like wrangling cats?
No,
Herding cats?
Okay. Well, I would imagine if you're just dealing with the children, it can be a little bit chaotic.
Right.
It's a very different skill set because you also have to have a lot by way of teaching skill set, right? You know, often you're getting adult actors who are more established or who already know the ropes. And with kids, that's not always the case. Like my 7-year-old just did a show and during a dress rehearsal, he ran on stage because he was late for an exit and he yelled at someone for taking his line. And I had to have a conversation with him. And I was like, we can't actually do that when there's an audience. And he was like, well, you never told me that. And I was like, that's fair. Because I just assumed people knew that. So, you know, there's things you have to spell out and articulate for kids because they're new to this, right? And it's a learning curve and it's a learning experience. And so it's a different skill set to keep them calm and present and in the moment. And of course, they're more distractible and all of that. But they also have kind of this very like visceral like enthusiasm that, you know, sometimes we lose a little bit as adults. So that's always nice too, to just see this like unbridled, like they're just happy to be there, you know, like
the light's still in their eyes.
That's a little difference that I've noticed between like the theater setting and the teen troupe and like school.
Right.
Because all of the kids that want to be at the theater want to be there.
That's fair.
They're not doing it for a grade. They're not doing it for, not that there's anything wrong, like I did school theater. I was a theater teacher, but they're really, especially if they're volunteering at a community theater, if they're invested in something like our teen troupe, like it's because they're passionate about it and they love it.
Yes, they want to be there. Yeah. That's awesome. And I mean, it builds their social skills. They get to grow their friend group and everything. I mean, that's amazing. Do they ever get involved in the helping of like the building of sets and stuff like that? Because I mean, I would put some kids to paint some of your set.
Sometimes, yes. Well, I mean, yeah, they do help out. In fact, we've had the teens volunteer all over the place.
I was going to say we recruit them too for when we are, in parades and things like that. They love to turn out and, we put them to work, in promotional and, I mean, not that sounds terrible. But, they want to be there.
Yeah. But, they'll get out. If we have a cleanup day, they'll come out with a cleanup day. And again, they volunteer all around town.
And we have multiple programs for multiple ages too. You often see the teens stepping up. We have our teen troupe, but we also have academy classes that we offer throughout the year for younger students. For instance, there was a showcase that we had done last year with the younger grades, and Trish was ill and I was helming it, but some of the teens came in to help me. So they showed up and stage managed backstage for me because I'm like, I cannot watch 50 kids backstage and be on stage simultaneously.
Right, because a lot of even we have 3 summer drama camps every season for younger kids.
And the staff
and
there.
The staff is mostly teenage kids from our teen troupe that either are currently in teen troupe or have
like alumni of,
right.
And so our choreographers, the folks and so they're coming back to mentor the younger kids, which is really lovely to see too.
Exactly.
If you're just tuning in, this is the Boerne Brew. I'm Veronica Rector. I am a reporter with the Boerne Star. And today we have Donna Provencher and Helen Rudolph with the Boerne Community Theater. So to attend these shows, how early do tickets get sold?
So regular tickets go on sale 3 weeks before the show opens. So exactly in 3 weeks. But everything I always mention is that you should just buy a membership and become a member of the theater because you get a discount on the tickets. There's different levels that come with different things. Like you can get a coupon for concessions with the memberships.
And we have really good cookies. They're from Bear Moon Bakery, so you definitely want concessions.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah, and like our student membership starts as low as $100 to individual memberships are $120. And that gives you enough tickets to see all the shows for the whole season.
That's awesome.
So, and then if you really want to help out, we have higher levels and you get more when you get a higher level. In fact, we are always looking for co-producers for our shows. They help finance the set construction and the painting and buying because you don't think of all the costs that go into putting a show on because you have to pay for the rights of the show. You have to buy all the scripts. You have to build the set, paint the set. So our co-producers help do that. And they also get a private showing for their own. They can throw a party and have their own show and invite their friends or clients or whoever.
They get their name on the marquee. We shout them out every night. So we direct folks their way as well. So it's a nice mutually supportive arrangement.
Yeah, they're on our social media. They're on all the posters. They're on all of our stuff.
So I'm mathing correctly. The Barefoot in the Park tickets are on sale now, right?
Yes, they are on sale now.
Awesome. And the website to go to is
BoerneTheater.org, or you can call our box office at 830-249-9166.
That is perfect. I mean, you'll have an amazing schedule for 2026, and we've talked about how people can get involved and how they can have a membership and everything. So, I mean, that's awesome. Donna, Helen, thank you so much for joining us on the Boerne Brew.
Oh, our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
This is Veronica Rector. I'm a reporter with the Boerne Star. Make sure to tune in next Saturday for the Boerne Brew. Have a great weekend.